Welcome back to the Jump Ball University. Professor Mo here, and today we're going to go into part 2 of pick and roll defense. So we're going to cover center field, we're going to cover trapping or blitzes, and ice. So get to your seats. So let's start with center field, which is when the defense plays the pick and roll as a 2-on-2, meaning no help from anybody else. The screener's defender is going to hang back and make a play at the rim if he has to, but he's also going to try to hold up the ball handler just long enough so that his teammate can get in front of his man again. So let's look at a few examples. Pau Gasol of the San Antonio Spurs does a great job of center field here. As DeJounte Murray goes over Rudy Gobert's pick and chases Joe Ingles, Pau stays within an arm's length of Joe Ingles to make a play at the rim, but also has an eye on Rudy Gobert. So when Gobert gets it, he's in good position to contest the shot. Here's another good example from the Spurs. Joel Anthony does a good job center fielding here and corralling Gordon Hayward just long enough so Kawhi Leonard can cover and get in front of him. Anthony goes back to Gobert, and this forces Hayward into a difficult fadeaway shot. Here, the Utah Jazz center field on C.J. McCollum coming off the screen. Gobert is in a good position to hold him up until Trey Burks recovers. The big man doesn't roll to the hoop but pops, which makes this a difficult closeout, but with Gobert's long arms, he's able to block the shot. So let's move on to trapping or blitzing the pick and roll, which basically means when the ball handler comes off the screen, both defenders collapse on the ball handler, trying to force him to give it up or a turnover or make a difficult pass. Marcus Smart and Jonas Jerebko spring a trap on Tyler Johnson in the high pick and roll. They take away any option he has to drive the lane, any shot. The only option he has is Tyler Johnson at the free throw line, who's a non-shooter from there. The ball goes there, and he throws an ill-advised lob that ends up being a turnover. When Ingles comes off the Gobert pick, he heads to the corner, and Kelly Olynyk and Avery Bradley set a trap for him there. And it's perfect because they're able to use the sideline and baseline out of bounds as additional defenders. They end up forcing a turnover and are running the other way. Josh Richardson and Hassan Whiteside do the same thing to Marcus Smart, using the sideline as an additional defender, which has him going nowhere. He picks up the ball and then tries to throw a pass that ends up becoming a turnover. And now we're at ice in the pick and roll, which is when the defense forces the ball handler away from the pick and into the big who's waiting for him down at the baseline. The Spurs are going to ice 2 pick and rolls in this possession. Manu is going to jump to his right and force Rodney Hood away from the Gobert screen and into LaMarcus Aldridge. Hood's going to kick the ball out to Shelvin Mack, who's going to reset everything. As Gobert comes to set the screen, Patty Mills jumps to his right, again forcing Mack away from the screen and into LaMarcus Aldridge. Shelvin Mack at 6'3" thinks it's a good idea to go at LaMarcus Aldridge at 6'11", and it's not a good idea. Now it's the Jazz turn to ice the screen. As LaMarcus Aldridge comes to set one, Joe Ingles jumps to his left and forces Kawhi away from the screen and into Derek Favors. Soon as Kawhi picks up the ball, Favors' job is done, and he's going to sprint out to LaMarcus Aldridge, and now Ingles is just going to defend Kawhi one-on-one. That's it for class today, so be sure as basketball season rolls around to pay attention to center field, traps or blitzes, or teams icing the pick and roll. Be sure to check out this and any other class and the amazing content on thejumpball.net. Have a great one.